my distinct pleasure to welcome the renowned Verismo Opera Company here today, that I've had the pleasure of being a part of for the past 20 years as a chorus member. The opera company was started in 1989 by Lucine Amar. She's a legendary opera singer at the Metropolitan Opera House and a performer for 70 years. Our directors are international performers Giovanni and Evelyn, and the principal conductor, who's here with us this evening, have been associated with the Met and various opera houses throughout the world. The goal of this opera company is to draw excellent artistic talent that you're going to see here today from the surrounding areas and to cultivate a new generation of artists performing opera and fully staged productions of all styles, with a special attention to Verismo School of Opera. My family, of which I have 3 girls, and I have had the joy of being in many productions in the past 10 years. We've done Tosca, Carmen, Un Trovatore, Pagliacci, and recently we did Aida, which was an amazing production. Verismo.
And your kids have been in productions as well.
Yes, they have been in my productions. So Verismo is a movement that was started in the early 1800s in France with Bizet's Carmen and Carpentier's Louise, spreading throughout Europe in all art forms. Verismo is Italian, which means truth and reality, and Giovanni can tell you because he's a native Italian, serving to describe the cruel realities of many, a true tragic story. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce and welcome to the stage Verismo Opera Company, and of course I'll turn the mic over to Giovanni, who is going to introduce our artist tonight, and you're going to be in for an amazing production and just talent here tonight. So thank you.
Thank you, Trevor. Let me introduce you our pianist tonight, Mr. Tilapian. And we have Rachel Ippert. We have Frederick Red, and Evelyn Lacabe, and myself. So without any further ado, let's start.
Hello. My name is Fred Red. My name rhymes. And I'm also going to be following up in something in English. Yay. From South Pacific, Some Enchanted Evening.
Some enchanted
when your true love, when you feel her call you across a crowded room, then fly to her side and make her your own. For all through your life you may dream alone. Once you have found her, never let her go. Once you have found her, never let her go.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Hippert. I had the pleasure of singing in the recent production of Aida, my entree to the Verismo Opera Company, so I'm really happy to be here tonight and singing for you. This piece that I'll start with is not opera. It's from an obscure movie or musical. I actually have never seen it. It's called Roberta, but the song you may know is called Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. We have some people who know it in here. So, all right, here we go.
They asked me how I knew my true love was true. I, of course, replied, something here inside cannot be denied. They said someday you'll find all who love are blind. When your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. So I chaffed them and I gaily laughed to think they could doubt my love. Yet today my love has flown away. I am without my love. Now laughing friends deride tears I cannot hide. So I smile and say, when that lovely flame dies, smoke gets in your eyes. So I chaffed them and I gaily laughed to think they could doubt my love. Yet today my love has flown away. I am without my love. Now laughing friends deride tears I cannot hide. So I smile and say, when that lovely flame dies, smoke gets in your eyes.
want to change the subject here from English to Italian, since I can speak Italian better than English. There is a composer by the name of Francesco Paolo Tosti, who was known to be a womanizer. He had many female companions, and some of those companions did a job on him, and because of their relationship, he wrote some of the most beautiful songs. The one I'm going to sing now is called A Prayer, and actually it's been sung also in churches. I do sing it in my Catholic church in Palisades Park in St. Nicholas, if anybody's around. Just let me give you an idea what I'm thinking of. It's, he says, to the confused mind of doubt and relief pain, O my Lord, with a ray of the faith from the weight that I decline in the mud, that declines to the mud. Basically, he wants, after this relationship, he wants this young lady to raise from the mud, so sort of speak of a relationship, and be a different person. So I will use my electronic orchestra, and we'll see what happens.
You know, for many years I sang rock and roll and pop music and was in the road show of Jesus Christ Superstar when I was 15. That was crazy. And I did probably 1,000 jingles, which probably some of you heard. But pop people have a way of changing words to songs. And when Rachel sang Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, we have a change that goes, they asked me how I knew my career was through. So there's lots of funny words. Some of them are kind of X-rated, so I won't go into those. But we always change them, and it's funny because we do that with the opera too. People think opera singers are a little stuffy. We're actually not. We're actually not. So when you have Madame Butterfly, affectionately called Madame Butterball. And let's see, what are some of the ones I can say in public? Ariadne obnoxious, yeah, instead of obnoxious. There are plenty of them. We say them when we're alone with each other. So this song that I'm going to sing is a very, very famous song that I'm sure you'll all recognize. It's about a very young girl who's in love with a young fellow, and she wants to beg her father to take her to the Porta Rossa, the Red Port, so that she can get her ring, so that she can be engaged to her sweetie. And she begs him, please, Dad, if you don't, I'm going to be so tortured and I'm just going to wish I could die. And please, Father, have pity on me.
Gianni Schicchi, un mio bambino caro.
Hello again. Greetings. The next song is going to be from an opera called Carmen. And I'm a baritone, and the aria is the Toreador song. So I'm the bullfighter. I'm sure all of you know the tune. So when it gets to the part where it says, Toreador, I want you guys to join me if you can. Because I know everyone knows it, and you've seen it on all the cartoons. But what happens is, in this scene, Escamillo, he's entering a party, and he's like Vos Pretos, you know, he's has a champagne glass, and he's describing what happens in the bullfight. And the rest is self-explanatory.
les soldats. Oui, les toreros peuvent s'entendre. Pour plaisir, ils sont les combats. Le cirque est plein ces jours de fête. Le cirque est plein des hauts en bas. Les spectateurs perdent la tête. Les spectateurs s'entendent à grand fracas. Apostrophe, brisée de page, poussée jusque dans l'affreux. Car c'est la fête du courage, c'est la fête des gens du cœur. Allons, en garde, allons, allons. On fait silence, à que c'est pas se dire. Glitter crient célestin, le tarot s'élance en bâtissant son tutorie. Il se lance, et l'entre frappe, un cheval roule, en tenant un pic d'or. Bravo taureau, il la voit, le taureau va et vient, et frappe encore. On sait quoi, c'est banderilles, plein de furailles courent, le cirque est plein de sang. On se sauve, on franchit les grilles, c'est ton tour maintenant. Allons, en garde, allons, allons.
Now for something completely different, but another beloved opera of the Verismo flavor. This is La Bohème and Mimi's first aria, Mi chiamano Mimi, when she is introducing herself for the first time to who will become the great love of her life, Rodolfo. You know it's opera when two people can get into a room and 5 seconds later, after not knowing each other previously, they're madly in love till the day they die. So this is that particular situation. He's just done his intro aria and asks her about herself, and she responds with this, Mi chiamano Mimi, they call me Mimi.
Sì, mi chiamano Mimi, ma il mio nome Matteo. La storia mia è breve, a te l'ho seta, ricavo in casa e fuori.
Is anyone familiar with operettas? The Merry Widows. It's one of the most famous one by Franz Lehár. But operetta was very famous all over Europe. Even in Spain, they were called zarzuelas, little butterflies. And I want to sing for you in Spanish from a beautiful zarzuela, one of my favorite one. It's called La Tabernera del Puerto, which means in English, the doorwoman of the seaport. And that's by a famous composer by the name of Saro Bazal. And he basically says, this woman cannot be a slut. I mean, come on. I mean, just because he's flirting with this guy, that guy, you know, I saw the way she cries, the way she behaves. You know, she's not. She's my love. No puede ser, esa mujer es buena. No puede ser una mujer malvada. En su mirar como una luz singular. Esta no es la mujer, no es una desventurada. No puede ser una mujer sirena que dejó las horas de mi vida. No puede ser porque la viviré, porque la vi llorar. Los ojos que lloran no saben mentir. Las mujeres no pidan así, temblando en sus ojos las lágrimas vi, que a mí me ilusiona, temblen por mí. Que tiemblen por mí. Viva luz de mi ilusión, sé piadosa con mi amor, porque no sé finir, porque deseo reír, porque no sé
Good afternoon. We're here with PKRG-TV, and we just heard a wonderful opera concert from Verismo Opera, and I'm here with baritone Frederick Red. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hello.
So, I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite kind of music to sing? We heard you do a number of different pieces, from musical theater to French opera to something from Don Carlo by Verdi. What do you like to sing best?
Mostly I get hired to do mostly Verdi and Puccini, and in the French repertoire it's mostly Carmen, but those are primarily what I do in the opera world. And then in the oratorio, a lot of a wide range from Mahler to Haydn to Rossini. And then in the Broadway world, there's a wide variety of things for concerts. I do a lot of concert work as well.
And how do you choose your pieces for an outreach program such as the one that we had here today?
Well, it depends on, a lot of times it's just the first person that starts out sort of sets the tone. Like, I think the first person did something in English, And then I said, aha, I'll do something in English.
Spontaneously?
So it was pretty much spontaneous for tonight.
Oh, wonderful.
So we kind of feed off of each other. So
Amazing, beautiful. And have you sung with this company before?
yes, I did I was Amanazro and Aida in
Wonderful
this year.
role. Fantastic. Well, I really loved your performance. You have just the most beautiful voice and
Thank
you
you.
communicated so beautifully with the audience. Thank you so much for coming to Park Ridge and performing here at the Atrium and for answering some questions for Park Ridge TV today. I am really pleased to have Rachel Hibbert here with me. She's an exciting new soprano on the artistic horizons, and congratulations on a beautiful concert today,
Thank you.
Rachel.
Thank you so much.
I enjoyed what you sang. You did absolutely an amazing job with everything you sang, and especially I think challenging is the aria that you sang from Carmen. That is
Yes.
really a difficult one. What do you like about the character of Micaela that you presented today?
Well, I recently played Micaela with Amore Opera Company. We did Carmen in May, and so that was the first time I've actually done the whole role, and it was great. But I did get to know the character. I sort of sunk my teeth into her to figure out what I could do with her that would be special, and. You know, she is very afraid in the aria. She's in a desolate area in the mountains. There are bandits all around. She is very physically vulnerable, but she is very spiritually strong. So for me, I really tried to bring out her strength and her courage, and I connected with that, and that's what I liked most about her character.
So, I hear that you have a new album out. Can you tell me something about it?
I'm happy to. It's called Experimentell und unbestimmte Lieder, Opus 9, which is, I know it's a mouthful, but I know. It sounds a little,
But I understood every word of
intimidating.
that, but we will explain it to them.
yeah, absolutely, experimental and unspoken songs. And it's in German, but the songs, it's an album composed by an incredible composer from Colombia by the name of Julian de la Chica. The songs are really incredible, very intellectual, but really beautiful. It's available on iTunes and Spotify. If you just look up Rachel Hibbert, then you'll find it. You don't have to remember all the German.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much for being with us
It's a pleasure.
today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
I'm so pleased to be here with Evelyn Lacaff. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
I loved your performance.
Thank
you
you.
have a really special rapport with the audience.
I love them. I love them.
And I thought that the way you adjusted some of the most beautiful and well-known pieces to really work in this situation was really quite inspirational. Can you tell me a little bit about how you present this great music in outreach programs like this?
Well, the outreach programs are incredibly helpful to us with the opera company because it gets us new patrons, and which is new money, and money is always a good thing. But it also increases our wonderful audience. And some people who've never seen an opera, once we do these kinds of little concerts and they hear us sing Broadway music and operettas and opera, they realize that first of all, opera singers are not stuffy people.
Not at all.
No, actually, most of us are a little insane, but that's okay. But they realize that maybe they should come to an opera and see it.
Absolutely.
And it's important because once they're in the audience, the beauty of seeing that curtain open with those magnificent sets and the wonderful singers that we have, and of course one of the wonderful singers we had today was our priestess in Aida. She was a
Right.
huge hit.
I bet.
I deliberately directed her to be on stage because usually in Aida the priestess is off stage.
That's
And
right,
I said,
singing from the
no,
wings.
No. I wanted her in this gorgeous
I
costume
like your
and
way
on
of
stage.
thinking.
Yes. Yes. We sopranos have to stick together.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you mentioned during one of your pieces, or maybe introducing it, that you're actually a cross-genre singer
Yes.
like myself,
Yes.
and I heard that you have sung rock and roll, and I was like, wow, what a beautiful operatic voice, and she was a rock and roll singer as well.
For a
Can you
long
tell us a
time.
little bit about how you sing both styles?
Well, let's see, that's kind of hard. I started singing professionally when I was 8 years old. And I grew up partially in the Caribbean, so I first started singing calypso music
Excellent.
with my Trinidadian accent, you know.
Wow.
And I have a fantastic Trinidadian accent, I still have, you know.
I'm
So-
impressed.
So we started
didn't
with that.
expect that.
Well, I know still a lot of those songs that were down there that were pretty strange.
A new program,
Yes,
maybe.
a new program. Well, we've done that actually in a concert. When I had
Okay.
my karaoke machine there, and we sang a bunch of opera, and then I sang some really low pop things, you know, and a country and western song. And people
Okay.
went. So if you can cross over, I think because I started as a pop singer, I was more able to cross over into opera. I have never
understand.
been able to teach an opera singer to sing pop. They won't let go of that place, you know. And you want, I wish you, I want to love you. They won't do that.
Well,
They're going, oh.
Come to the Turandot at Verismo Opera. Will that be in Englewood?
Well, this one here, October 15th, is Tosca,
Okay.
of which I've sung 28 performances.
Okay.
28. And I'm going to sing it till I get it right. No, I'm only directing this, I'm not singing it.
All right. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
with
much.
us.
And thank you for being here. It was a great pleasure.
I'm here this evening with Giovanni Simone, who just took part in a wonderful opera performance by the Verismo Opera Company of New Jersey. And thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
I thought the flavors that you brought to this concert tonight were wonderful. You sang Zarzuela, or pronounce how you say that.
I sang an operetta, we call them zarzuelas in
Zarzuela,
Spanish,
right.
which means the little butterflies. As I said to the audience, you know, operetta was taken by storm in the late 1800, 1900, and actually you touched many different countries, including Spain, including Italy. You know, Verismo Opera is a Fort Lee-based opera company. We are based in Fort Lee. We've been around for 29 years.
And what is the website that they can go to?
www.verismoopera.org, and you can look up all the wonderful things that we do. We also sponsor a vocal competition, an international vocal competition, which will take place in late November. And actually we do 2 major productions a year with a full orchestra, beautiful sets, very traditional.
So you don't have to cross the bridge,
correct.
park,
That's
go through any
correct.
stress to hear world-class opera. You
That's
can hear it
correct.
right
and
here
it's on
in
Sunday.
New Jersey.
It's so easy. It's on Sunday to the Bergen Performing Arts Center,
Come and
which
check
is our
it
home
out.
theater, our home house, and you can park for free, and you can enjoy some wonderful restaurants in Inglewood, as you well know.
That's what we do.
And so I encourage everyone to come on October 15 and see this beautiful production of Puccini's Tosca.
I'm so privileged to be here speaking to Michael Palafian, who did an amazing job accompanying a bunch of crazy singers here at the Atrium, wonderful, talented singers. And so thank you so much for speaking to me here. What is the biggest challenge that you have as a pianist playing for singers?
To pick up on the style of different people, different singers, especially if I don't know them, I have to instantly feel what they're trying to convey in the music.
Okay, so with all these singers that you performed with today, have you worked with them before?
Yes, I have.
So you were kind of prepared for the kinds of stuff that they were going to pull on you.
Yes, not the specific pieces.
Well, I was impressed with the way that you responded. So you played for them, and there wasn't a rehearsal before this, or there was?
No, this is all impromptu.
Impromptu. So
Yeah.
they just said, here. It's kind of like an opera open mic. How exciting!
Yes, exactly. Like a restaurant, like Yankee and Margaritas.
Amazing,
Astis.
amazing. So that's great. So as a pianist, do you work here in the New Jersey area or in New York City or?
New York City, mainly. I come out here to work for Verismo Opera.
Uh-huh. And do you also play other styles other than opera, or are you mainly a classical?
Mainly I'm classical. I'm in the middle of a production now of musical comedy at NYU. It's a summer production of an original show written by the head of the music education department, John Gilbert.
Oh,
it's going
fantastic.
up August 4 and 5.
August 4 and 5 at NYU?
Yes.
And the name of it is?
It's called If This Be Madness. It's a modern, updated version of the Don Quixote story.
Wonderful.
Takes place in New York.
Everybody sounded so wonderful, as we will hear on the program, and they wouldn't have sounded as wonderful if they didn't have a beautiful, sensitive pianist playing for them. So thank you so much for your
You're
work.
welcome.
He mentioned the word operetta, and there are many famous songs from operettas, one of which I will sing right now, which is in English again, by the way. It's from a very famous operetta called Villa.
Merry widow.
Merry widow.
There once was a Villa, a witch of the wood. A hunter beheld her alone as she stood. The spell of her beauty upon him was laid. He looked and he longed for that magical maid. Then a strange unknown emotion filled the hunter's heart and hand. Longingly, she began to sigh and said.
Now, if you know the words, let's sing it.
Softly and sadly he sighed.
Your turn.
Softly and sadly he sighed. The wood maiden smiled, but no answer she gave, but beckoned him into the shade of a cave. He never had known such a rapturous bliss. No man of mortals so sweet
me giunto from
Don Carlo.
from Don Carlo. I'm dying for my best friend. My character is Atrium. But I'm happy to do it. Okay. So I sing it up because he's my best friend and I'm happy to die for him. So we
Son io mio Carlo, uscir today da questo orrendo aver. Felice anco io son se abbracciarti, ossia, io ti salvai. Convien qui dirci addio. Oh mio Carlo, per me giunto il dì supremo, no mai più ci rivedremo. Ci congiunga Dio nel ciel e che regna i suoi fedeli. Sul tuo ciglio il pianto io miro, lagrimor così perché no fa cor, no fa cor estremo spiro, l'estremo spiro, lieto e a chi morrà per te. No fa cor, no fa cor, l'estremo spiro, lieto e a chi morrà per te. Lieto e a chi
I'll sing another aria now, why not? This is also from Bizet's Carmen. We were delighted by the Toreador song just a little while ago. And my character is the soprano. In a rare turn of events, she does not get the guy in the end. The character is Micaela, and she has a strong familial bond with the tenor Don José. But José is bewitched by the beautiful gypsy Carmen, and despite Micaela going to try and retrieve him from a life of villainy with the gypsy band and bring him home and bring him to reason, he still goes back like a moth to the flame. So this is Micaela's prayer for her own safety, but also to win him back. This is Je dis que rien ne m'épouvante.
French.
Oui.
C'est de contre-badier, refuse
this beauty. Anyway, going back to Italian, I'm sure you all know the song. It was very popular by Beniamino Gigli. It's called Non ti scordar di me, and I want to ask everybody to join me. I will use my orchestra, and we'll sing together.
Partirono le rondini dal suo paese freddo e senza sole, cercando primavere viole, nidi d'amore di felicità.
but we're going to keep our clothes on. Here we go. From Puccini's Turandot. And we are going to be doing this next April. So please come and see us. Turandot is a monster just like Aida was. I'm sure I have more gray hairs from directing that. So we're going to all have fun, and here's the famous Nessun Dorma, means everyone's asleep.
And I have a challenge for Trevor. Where's Trevor?
Right here.
Okay, I want to bring everybody this year and next year. Let's get some buses and let's bring them free to the next production. Nessun dorma, nessun dorma. Tu pure, o principessa, nella tua fredda stanza, guardi le stelle che fremono d'amore
Tremble with love.
e di speranza.
And hope. And hope.
Ma il mio mistero è chiuso in me.
Close to me.
Il nome mio nessun saprà. No, sulla tua bocca lo dirò. Quando la luce splenderà.
The splendid night, the light, the moon, whatever.
Ed il mio bacio scioglierà il silenzio che ti fa mia.
Oh, wonderful.
Tramontate stelle, all'alba vincerò.